Yo, what's up? Middle of the week, and I figured I would show you a couple things I got in the mail and explain to you why I did not get to priming the motor on the Nova, the LS motor, because the motor mounts took a long time, but that's not the only reason. The only other reason that stopped me was because of this thing right here. So I went to the auto parts store and picked up this cheap oil pressure gauge. It's just a mechanical oil pressure gauge with the tubing and the hose, and comes with a couple brass fittings. So I did not have the correct fitting, nor did anybody else in the area, to plug it into the block. So I needed one of these. This is the adapter that is M16 by 1.5. Yep, M16 by 1.5 with the 1/8 inch NPT, not that part. Uh-oh. This part. So that is how my oil pressure gauge is going to hook up. I did not have this, and so I wasn't going to be able to make that gauge work because I did not have the threads to go into the block. So now I do have that. Now I just got to dig the starter up and find it with the right bolts and plug this in. I'll show you guys that. So there's that. And then another thing I have is this. This is taped really good. There we go. So, this is my computer. And it's programmed. And I thought that there would be some notes in here about exactly what was done, but there's not. So now I just gotta hope that it's all good. But anyways, it's good to have it back because now I can permanently mount this in the car and work towards the wiring. I don't know. It's coming close to the beginning of summer, and that was my goal. That's actually just a few weeks away. Is beginning of summer, and I want to have the car running by then. It's going to be really tight. If that can happen, I think I'll get the motor primed, and if that goes all good, then I think I'm just going to get ready to, and I'll have that motor ready to bolt in. Once motor goes bolted in, then the next step will be the transmission and transmission cross member, and then when that's bolted up, I can measure for the drive line, and I can get the drive line on order, and while that's on order, I can button up engine bay stuff like headers, throttle cable, wiring, radiator, all that stuff. I'll put back my seat in there. I'm not going to button up the dash until all the wiring and the car is running. That way I know it all works, because I don't want to have to tear it back apart just to access it, so that'll be last. It could happen. I'm going to try hard, but for now, motor priming. Over there. Got to find the starter. Okay, found the starter, and I am going to clean this up a little bit before I put it in, because I don't want to put it on nappy just like the rest of the motor was. So let me do just a quick clean on this, and then I got to find the bolts, and then I'll put this on. We'll fill the motor with oil, put the oil filter on, and get the gauge ready, and hopefully do this pretty quick. Okay, starter is on. It's not perfectly clean, but it's way better than it was. So I got it bolted on, and now I got to work on the gauge. I got to take out the factory oil pressure sensor. Someone said there's a spot over here too that you can do. Right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me turn my phone light on. See that plug right there? People are saying you can do it right there too. I don't really want to disturb that, so I'm just gonna take it out of the back stock top one right there. So let me get it set up, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all hooked up. Okay, adapter is on. Gauge is just sitting right here, ready to go. Doesn't need any power. This is for lighting. So I'll put that over on that side next to the starter, so when I turn it over from that side with the battery, I can just sit down there and watch everything. So let me get that all set up with some jumper cables. Okay, we got everything hooked up. Got the battery hooked up. Check this old battery, it's got over 12 volts. Oil pressure gauge is over here. Stuff the dipstick in there real quick for the oil. And I think we're good to go. So let me give the camera to Caleb, and you just, I guess, just watch it on here. Nothing yet, that's not good. That's got me worried. That's got me worried. I thought that would have kicked some oil pressure by now. Maybe it's a good thing we're checking it, because I had the O-ring on the pickup on the oil pump felt a little weird, but I went with it anyways. And I wonder now if it's not sealing, and that's why it's not sucking up any oil. I'm glad I'm checking it now though. I'm going to try this one more time for just a second, and then if it doesn't do anything, then I'm going to have to drain the oil, flip the motor, pull the pan off, get a new O-ring for that pickup, and try it again. So I'll just try it one more time. I don't want to keep on spinning it without any oil going through it. So let me just spin it for like another minute, or not even a minute, but just a few seconds to see if anything happens. Nothing. It's got me a little worried. Dang it. Okay, looks like I'm draining it and flipping it over, pulling the pan, double checking it. I think it's spinning fast enough. I don't know. Chime in. Okay, we popped off the oil pan and pulled the pickup off, and this seal does not look good. So I am going to replace this and hope it seats properly right here for the pickup on there. So new O-ring on there, and then seal this all back up. I hope my gasket is still good, but I'm also noticing that it looks like this plug right here is leaking out the bottom of it, and maybe even possibly this one too. So I think I'm going to pop those out and try to reseal them in there, because I think I was getting a little bit of leakage through that, just that little bit of cranking we did. I don't know. Got to figure it out. A little bit of setback, but I'm glad we're checking it now. Right, Caleb? Mm-hmm. So we'll fix that and try again. went and got a new O-ring, and so now I'm going to try and get this on there and get it seated in there properly, and I will not continue until I do. So, trying to figure out why this wasn't sealing, and hopefully get it all dialed in. Okay, oil pan is back on, everything's all hooked up, oil's back in there. We are going to go ahead and try this now. You can see that there's still no oil in the line, so we didn't try it before the video. So I'll hold this and have Caleb hold the camera. And here, get really close. That's good. I'll try it right here. What is that? Hold on. Okay, what are we doing wrong? What are we doing wrong? Go again. Oh, look it. Oil's coming. Oil's coming. Hold on. Give me that gauge. I don't know if you guys see it, but oil is coming through the line. Keep going. Look at it. We're building pressure. Oil is coming. Okay, stop. Is that good enough? Is that good enough? I don't know what it should be. I thought that I would see oil coming out through the rockers, but maybe this is not spinning fast enough. Like, this battery is not totally fully charged, so maybe it's not turning it fast enough to build more pressure. Let me get the battery booster on here and see if that changes the pressure, but this is a good sign. A good sign. We got some oil flow. Let me set up the battery booster and we'll try it again. Okay, we got this cobbled together for more juice. Go ahead, Caleb. Hope you don't get shocked. So it's a little better. The oil pressure is still climbing through the tube. It kind of stopped climbing in the tube and it went down a little bit. So I don't know. I think it's okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. So according to this cheapo gauge, if that mark is 40, it was in like the 30 range for cranking it over. So I don't know what it's supposed to be. I think 30 is fine if it's just cranking because it's not running on full power. And then I'm assuming when it fires, it would go up higher. So I think with just cranking over with the battery, that is good. We're going to clean up this mess, call this motor ready to drop in. Oh yeah! And by the way, I've never jumped a motor like this on an engine stand, so it's kind of exciting for me too. So just kind of fumbling through this whole process. So we're going to put the valve cover back on, put the coil pack back on, just kind of clean up the mess around here, and then the next thing to do is put the motor in. I don't know if that's going to happen today, maybe tomorrow, but it's going to happen real soon. Probably very next video, because it's not going to happen this one. If this would have went smoother, this would have been short, but nothing ever goes smooth. So, bye! Bye!